The best RPG on PC is seconds away. Download now on the Plarium Play Launcher and get ready to raid. Explore, collect, and fight. Choose your champions. Defeat terrifying bosses. Win glory in PvP battles. The best RPG on PC is seconds away. Download now on the Plarium Play Launcher and get ready to raid. Explore, collect, and fight. Choose your champions. Defeat terrifying bosses. Win glory in PvP battles. The best RPG on PC is seconds away. Download now on the Plarium Play Launcher and get ready to raid. Explore, collect, and fight. Choose your champions. Defeat terrifying bosses. Win glory in PvP battles. The best RPG on PC is seconds away. Download now on the Plarium Play Launcher and get ready to raid. Explore, collect, and fight. Choose your champions. Defeat terrifying bosses. Win glory in PvP battles. The best RPG on PC is seconds away. Download now on the Plarium Play Launcher and get ready to raid. Explore, collect, and fight. Choose your champions.
Studio. Night City is a place of many faces, from power-mongering corpos and chromed-out celebrities to infamous gang members and hard-hitting mercenaries. Take part in our cosplay contest and show us which face of Cyberpunk 2077 is yours.
Hello everyone, welcome to the grand finale of our Cyberpunk 2077 cosplay contest. In this contest, we asked our talented community to cosplay a character from the game based on officially published art, screenshots, videos, cosplay guides, etc. And let me tell you one thing, we were blown away by the results. After announcing the contest in June 2019, we decided to take it for a tour around the world.
Can you hear me? Let me know in chat if you can hear me.
We went to Gamescom in Germany, PAX in the USA, Tokyo Game Show in Japan, Igromir in Russia, and finally, Paris Games Week in France. I'm sure not all of you had the opportunity to be there, so let's see how it all went down.
This is pretty cool. If you guys have not seen this yet, the cosplay, that little commercial that they all had, some of these guys do amazing work. I'm actually excited to see who the winner is going to be. Like I said, you guys, if you can't hear me, let me know. Echoing? Okay. Should not be echoing.
In each of those events, we chose one winner who advanced to the grand finale. But we weren't done yet. For everyone who couldn't be there, we also organized online qualifiers where people could submit their cosplays on a dedicated website. You see, we met dozens of amazing cosplayers during offline qualifiers, but we received hundreds more submissions online. So as you can imagine, the choice wasn't easy. In fact, it was so hard that instead of choosing 5 more finalists from online qualifiers, we chose 7. And now, 12 best Cyberpunk cosplayers are competing for the first place in the first official Cyberpunk 2077 cosplay contest and a nice chance of the $30,000 prize pool. Are you ready to meet them?
What it was I had the mic. I had two mics on at one time, so that's why I was echoing.
This is my V cosplay. I'd love to have more time to show you all of the details of this costume, from the precise top stitching and hand-painted motifs, through the custom modelled and finished guns and props, but for now, let's just watch it all in action.
So, where do you think you're going?
Seems looks badass. They should just make a movie. Seriously, they should just make a movie.
Hey, sing!
V, you got my splitter?
Sure have. You got my stuff? The hell is this, Saint?
Hey, if anything goes wrong, this never happened.
You worry too much, Saint. Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Hold yourself on. Don't think anything's going wrong.
What went wrong?
Everything.
Привет, я Степанов Сергей, обычный парень из России, деревни Пафин. Мое любимое занятие – создавать крутые вещи. Мечтаю о своей мастерской. Полуфинал сделал меня на шаг ближе к этой цели. Ройс был хорошо описан, я воспроизвел его в мельчайших деталях, но на экзоскелет не было гайда. Предстояла большая и сложная работа. Хотя, что рассказывать? Брейндэнс. Работал в гараже у отца, на кухне и даже на улице, без костюма около 80 килограмм. В суставах ног установлены газовые лифты. Большая пушка – это пульт управления, анимации, костюм. Шлейф управления проложен как в игре. Активаторы на ногах включают механические звуки шагов. Выстрел из оружия сопровождается оригинальным звуком из игры, анимацией света и движения. Фразы Ройса для атмосферы злодея. Щит имеет перфорацию с подсветкой.
Look at this. How much money do you think it took to create this? Look at the level of detail in this. This is amazing. This guy is... Oh wow, that's Lizzie Wizzy. She's supposed to be a fully cyborg. Yeah, fully cyborg. Now that is badass. Oh, Johnny Silverhand.
What's up? My name is Cody Lewis from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm cosplaying as Johnny
I hope you guys are
Silverhand
pumped
from
for
the new
Night
game
City Wire.
Cyberpunk 2077. Check it out. I've been a fan of CD
I know,
Projekt
20
Red's
more
games for a
minutes.
long time,
23
dating
more
back to when I
minutes.
started playing The Witcher 3. And
We
when I
will
saw that they were coming out with Cyberpunk 2077,
You see
I
what
was very
CD
excited.
Projekt Red
And
has for
even
us.
more excited when they announced a Cyberpunk cosplay contest. I'd never cosplayed before, and I was kind of nervous to start the competition, but when I saw that Johnny Silverhand was one of the characters they
Did a
could
really good
cosplay
job
as,
for his
I
first time
immediately
cosplaying,
jumped on it
not gonna
because
lie.
I'm a guitarist myself, and I thought I could play the character very well. And being a
It
guitarist,
is
I wanted to be able to play the
nerve-wracking.
guitar while
Imagine
wearing
spending all
the
that time
costume.
and effort
So when I built the costume, I
and
made
getting
sure that
the
I was able
costume
to
set
play
up
the
and
guitar
then,
while wearing the arm
you know,
itself.
just being judged by random people. You don't know how they're gonna take it. Oh, he's actually playing guitar with his little silver hand on there. They should just make a movie. Just make a movie. I mean, look at what the cosplayers are doing right now, right? I mean, the cosplayers are doing an amazing job. I mean, obviously they're probably getting help, but still, the level of detail in their costumes and then just everything. They should let some of these guys be in the actual show or movie. She legitimately looks like, if you've seen the World of Cyberpunk 2077 lore book, she is on the cover of the lore book. That character right there. She literally looks just like that character.
Check your comms. Dick's just sent over a bounty, and she should be headed his way.
Oh, and by the way, guys, sorry about earlier where
Got some balls coming around here.
had a stream set up scheduled. I don't know what happened. Slobs was not letting me start it up for any reason whatsoever. So I literally had to restart a whole new stream. I don't know why. Something between YouTube and Slobs was just not. I couldn't even get the stream key to go over.
Spare me, I'll call off the bounty.
Come and get it.
My name is Lola Zeta from Indonesia, Southeast Asia. Been waiting for 7 years and now the wait is over. So enough talking.
Oh,
we have
whoa.
a city to burn. Samurai.
She's supposed to be B. Girl version B. I wonder if she created those props herself, that gun. If she did an amazing job. So what are you guys excited to see? Just more vehicle maybe customization. I mean, there's really no vehicle customization, but maybe they'll surprise us. Just more on vehicles in general. I mean, there's going to be a ton of them, they said. We can literally collect so many different vehicles and have garages filled with everything, and it's going to take a long time.
Hi, I'm Mia, also known as Fingelia Cosplay. I cosplay since 2015. For this competition, I cosplay Dum Dum, a character which allows me to transform completely into a badass gang member from the world of Cyberpunk 2077. Thanks for watching and goodbye.
Hell yeah! That is freaking sick! Alright, she has the best Maelstrom look. Look at that. I like how it's like legit goggles so she can use them to see through, right? Oh, that's cool. She's got an Arasaka vest on, but she's got that Maelstrom look. So I wonder.
Warning.
I like that. That's good. That's my Halloween costume. That's my next Halloween outfit.
Hey guys, I'm Yugra and I'm an artist from Estonia. I like both digital and physical forms of art. I like to experiment with materials and I'm a huge fan of collab projects. My cosplay is a Home Antiquor AD character, which I decided to upgrade with extra Cyberpunk swag. My jacket has an inbuilt screen for ads, while the boots are enchanted with lights and smoke machines. Cyberpunk 2077 is my most ambitious project, and I hope you enjoy it.
Well, I am enjoying it. I'm liking it a lot. They gotta make all these cosplays, all these outfits you see. Like, look at how it lights up in the back. Everything. Like, this is so creative on these cosplayers. That's like on BlizzCon. I love watching the cosplayers come out. They do a lot of good work, and I can bet how scary it is for them to step out on stage and have people judge their outfits. This is one I wanted to see. I did see in the trailer, the Trauma Team.
Field, diagnose, extract, an emergency unit has been dispatched.
Our Trauma Team soldier comes equipped with the latest military-grade cyberware available. Deadly accuracy, faster reflexes, and of course,
by the way, did you guys see the Trauma Team comic book series out? If not, check it out. Season, or I should say comic book 2 is out. It's actually really good. A little short for my liking, because I wanted to keep reading more, but it's worth checking out, you guys, if you haven't seen it.
Subscribe to a Platinum membership, and our unit will rescue you anywhere, even in the farthest regions of the Badlands.
He's got a good outfit, or she.
Hi, I'm Dimitri, also known as Proxy to Yourself. I'm a French cosplayer, and this is my Cyberpunk cosplay for the final.
Oh, wow. I thought I liked that girl's earlier too, but from that picture right there, it looks like he's got a pretty good setup going on. To really get that Maelstrom look into his eyes.
Where were you?
I'm sorry. I thought that we agreed to meet in a secure location.
That's bullshit, you know it. Is that all you got? You belong to Maelstrom now, bitch.
Hello, my name's Larry Hastings. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, USA.
Oh.
A lot of people said that Royce couldn't be done based on his aesthetics. However, myself and my team thought that that was the most interesting problem that we had to solve. Thus, we brought him to life. Here's what we got.
Oh, you guys did a good job. A badass job. That was badass.
Heard you were looking for me. Come.
So you are...
Catherine, but you can call me Vit.
You are not what I expected.
What? Can a girl from Czech Republic do guns in that city?
Yes, I mean, no, what I meant actually was...
Look, here you can be anything you want. That's right. Sorry, buying or not? Another Anthony of Lexington. With rapid fire. 看到 TPP 我可以记着他了。And are a big boy Achilles. So, which one? Thirsty? You forgot to check out these.
Wow, they were all amazing. Do you have your favorite? Because they certainly didn't make it easy for us to choose. But before we meet our judges and reveal the winners, let's talk about prizes one more
Who
time.
do you guys think won?
I already mentioned the $30,000 prize pool,
Honestly, who do you
but
guys
that's
think
not all.
won this?
Our team has prepared
It's
a
hard.
surprise. We decided that regular trophies are not cool enough. So instead of that, the top three will receive detailed props based on weapons from the game. They have been made specifically for this occasion, and winners will be able to do with them as they please. They can use them as props in their photo shoots, or just display them in a cool place in their houses or their workshops.
So they are going to get that. Now that is sick.
To be able to judge everyone fairly, earlier this September, we organized a pre-judging session with each of our finalists. We were joined by our expert judges, Mal Cosplay and Maya Felicitas. You may know them as the original Vs. So, after taking a closer look at every picture, every video, every work-in-progress material sent by our finalists, and asking them detailed questions about their costumes, we have finally come up with a decision. So let's hear it from our judges.
The third place goes to someone who did an incredibly authentic job. When you see him walking in the streets, you think this guy came straight from the game.
He looks like the real deal. Ladies and gentlemen, the third place goes to Larry Hastings, aka Vulture Productions, from the US as Royce.
Yay! That's awesome. He did an awesome job. I really like it. I was hoping he was one of the ones that won. I mean, look at...
The winner of the second place did something that none of us or any of the other judges have ever seen before. Her crafting skills are outstanding and she left all of us speechless.
Ladies and gentlemen, and comrades, the second place goes to Russian name Anna Ormely Milova from Russia as Lizzie Wizzy.
Yeah, I figured this one. She did an awesome... Look at that cosplay. Look at that outfit. It fit her so perfect. It really did. I want to know what the material is made out of. I mean, I can't believe if it's actually steel. It must be like plastic painted chrome, you know? She did an amazing job. Congratulations.
The first place goes to someone who used almost every cosplay technique we've ever heard of and also used some very professional techniques.
She even cut her long hair and shaved her head for the Cyberpunk character.
She's super dedicated
Hey, bud,
and
don't
also
worry
had to
about
learn
being
a
late.
bunch
It's
of new
okay.
skills,
I had
all
some
of them to
technical
be combined
difficulties
in her
early anyway,
breathtaking
so...
cosplay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Leute, the first place in the Cyberpunk cosplay contest
Just tell us
goes
already.
to, let's say together,
Okay.
Tingilia Cosplay from Germany as Dum Dum.
Oh, yeah. I figured that. I mean, it was cool. She did a good job with her eyes. You guys remember seeing that, right? Congrats, you guys. You guys deserve it. She did a good job with that. It looked really good. I mean, she looked just like it.
Congratulations. That was amazing. Please make sure to spend that cash wisely. Or not. I guess this is it. This is the end of the contest. It has been a wild ride for all of us, but let me tell you one thing before we finish.
Honestly.
I'd like to thank every single participant, whether you made it to the finale or not. You all showed enormous talent and determination, and I hope that you will keep up the good work, because there's still so many characters left to cosplay, and you will be able to meet them very soon on November 19th, 2020. So thank you once again, and see you in Night City.
"10 minutes, everybody. 10 minutes. I want some more. By the way, guys, stay tuned for the post show as well. So even though we're gonna see it's probably gonna run about a half hour, and then after that we're gonna have post-show afterwards. We'll get more details from the developers. I hope they give us a lot more insight on more than just vehicles and sound and stuff like that. Hopefully they nitpick a little bit and they slip up and give us something exciting. They've been doing a pretty good job of being tight-lipped lately, so. So what have you guys been up to? How's your guys' week been going? Good? How excited are you guys for Cyberpunk? 1 month. That's it. 1 more month. Been waiting 8 years for Cyberpunk 2077 to come out. I remember the first trailer drop. I was like, CDPR, making another badass game whenever it releases. Now it's released. This is going to be the slowest 8 minutes ever, I'm not going to lie. But I did want to come on here and talk with you guys for a little bit. Wanted to make sure everything was set up beforehand. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't stream like ever. I think I've streamed maybe a couple times on Twitch before. I was going to live stream on Twitch as well as YouTube, but... What up, bud? Yeah, I got work off today, so able to do this. This is my other job, man. I have fun doing it, but this is literally a second job. Between family, work, doing stuff like this, and being pumped for Cyberpunk to come out. I know I have a lot of Witcher fans on my YouTube channel. They love The Witcher. That's why I tell a lot of them, give Cyberpunk a chance, because you guys... I'm telling you right now, you're probably going to be surprised and like the game. A lot of people don't like that futuresque, you know what I'm saying, dystopian game. They just like that medieval fantasy, magic, monsters, and I love that stuff too, but it's nice to change it up a little bit. And they said that this world is going to be very deep compared to The Witcher 3. And we already know how deep that game was, right? I mean, even though so far this game is not going to be maybe... I don't want to say as big so far, the map, who knows, we don't really know, there's been some leaks, but it's not just how wide it is, it's how deep it is, you know what I'm saying, with all the buildings we can go into and the subway stations and that. So the closer we get, they said they will be giving us more updated info on it. Yeah, I know, bub. Work is brutal. I got a buddy of mine in chat right now. Me and him work together and literally working 6-day weeks all the time. So that's why I tell people on my channel, you know, it's rough. I don't sit home. I'm not like an 18-year-old kid that literally is, you know, this is it. They live at their parents' house and they do this, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're doing and you guys want to do it, go right ahead for it. But me, you know, I started this channel about a year ago, so between work, doing this, and my family, and all you guys supporting me, I gotta say, like, I gotta say thank you to all of you. You guys have really pushed me to even make this channel go further than what it already started out to be. Yes, it is gonna be a big change from The Witcher 3. Definitely is. I don't know, I just can't wait to see. I mean, we see little bits of gameplay here and there. I mean, I saw some, like, when they were riding the motorbike, that GIF that Cyberpunk 2077 on Twitter posted, and it's badass. Like, just graphically and everything, and being able to ride bikes and that, I'm pretty excited to see even more vehicles. Just what they have to offer us. I mean, people were pretty bummed out that there's not going to be vehicle customization, which... alright, it's fine, but they never gave any more details of, well, what is pertaining to vehicles in the game, right? Like, if there's no customization, what is there? And they gave us a little insight, just saying, like, there's a huge variety. of different vehicles that we can collect. And that's another thing. I cannot wait to see all the car collectors. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be posting videos like crazy on the channel showing all my car collection. You know what I'm saying? They said some of them are going to be super expensive, obviously, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us when it comes to that. It's got me pretty hyped. From year 1270 to 2077. Yes. Seriously, though. And if you guys played all the way through The Witcher 3, if you notice, Ciri does talk about when she bounces from different worlds. There is a part where when she goes to one world, she comes and tells Geralt, and Geralt's like, yeah, I want to hear it. And she's like, there's people with metal in their heads, you know, and, you know, buildings that reach the sky. And literally that was an Easter egg to Cyberpunk 2077 because they were working or in works to make Cyberpunk 2077 while they were making The Witcher 3. And just think about that. They already had plans for Cyberpunk 2077 while they were working on that masterpiece. So that alone right there shows you the level of detail and just how much work this studio puts in. I mean, all the man hours and how much they've done with The Witcher 3, people couldn't even fathom. You know what I'm saying? How big that game is while starting Cyberpunk. And if people sit there and talk crap saying, I don't know, what? This game took 8 years? Look at Star Citizen. That game is promised to be out decades ago, and it's been like 8-9 years since they said that was going to release, and still nothing. Alright, you guys. We're almost there. We are almost there. 2.5 minutes. Sorry, got distracted. I'm back. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I don't stream like ever. I literally, first time green screen. I'll tell you guys, I'll be up front. Like I green screened it, did everything because setup is a little bit messy behind me. Okay, so yeah, it worked out actually pretty well so far. I've been working out the kinks on that. So I don't know. One of these things that you have to do if you want to stream and you want to be part of everything in the community, it's good to stream so you have live interaction with everyone. And if you guys want to start a channel and doing things, I know a few people that are subbed to me starting channels. They message me all the time asking tips and tricks because I'm not saying, you know, there's people that have started channels and literally gained like 50,000 subscribers within a year's time. And I gotta say kudos to them, but I'm pretty impressed with only being able to upload as much as I do, and I'm going to be doing it a lot more. But like I said, working a full-time job, streaming, doing different things like that, and I've grown as far as I have. I'm getting closer to 3,400 subs from all you guys supporting this channel. Like I said, the more you guys support it, the more videos I can try and pump out, because who knows, maybe one day if I get a little bit bigger, maybe I don't need to go to my job anymore. Maybe I could sit here and just pump out some badass content non-stop. I mean, that's the dream, right? That's everyone's dream. My week, bub? Oh man, my week, it's been good. I mean, it's work life. I mean, the best part of my week is literally the kids and coming home with the wife. So, and you guys, honestly, I love making content. 2 seconds, here we go.
Welcome to Night City Wire Episode 4, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to start today's episode by giving you a look at just some of the vehicles you might procure during your time in Night City, and having a chat to senior vehicle artist Paul, who's going to give us a little bit more information before we take you behind the scenes and a look at the lengths the teams have gone to bring vehicles to life. We're also going to have news on an exciting collaboration. Then we're going to be talking about fashion and styles in Night City before we recap the incredibly talented finalists in our Cyberpunk cosplay contest. We'll then wrap up today's episode with some news about Stadia. There is a lot to talk about. So, let's get started.
I want that Cyberpunk chair. They're all sold out.
In a huge open world like Night City, you need a chill ride to get around fast. And in Cyberpunk 2077, there are tons of cool vehicles to choose from.
Get this. 4-liter engine, 6-cylinder, goes from 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds. You fucking believe that?
We've crafted every car and motorbike with amazing attention to detail. On the chassis, the body, not to mention the interiors. You can expect every one not only to look unique, but to deliver a unique driving experience.
All right, show me what you got.
Alright. Don't expect advanced tech or luxurious materials here. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it's not the size that counts, I guess.
This class is mostly utility vehicles and low-end clunkers made for every pocket.
Hold on. It's a wreck.
My damn wreck.
Well, GTA style.
No guy or girl mech.
If you need to impress, look to this class alone.
I'm putting my ride on the line. Either you match it in cash, or you can forget about the fight.
With these wheels, no expense has been spared, no frill ignored. Their plush interiors decked out in all the latest tech, while you get to sit back and enjoy the ride. Masterful engineering and practical design. Trucks and tanks for when you need power and brute force.
Hell of a machine.
The music in this game is really amazing.
Beast. My pride and joy.
And these monsters are literally unstoppable. These are for chooms who love the smell of exhaust and the roar of street wildlife. Their powerful engines and exchangeable parts make them perfect for tuning.
Come on! I
Exchangeable parts?
burn!
Huh. Think about that.
Whether it's street racing, running from the NCPD, or just showing off in the streets, with these high-powered beasts, you will have only respect.
Oh yeah, like that!
If you need speed and armor, the Hypercar class is for you. It means precise bodywork, built-in LiDAR arrays, and really expensive materials.
Imagine you're sitting on a pile of eddies. Probably less than 1,000 people in the world can afford the erudite. Not your typical urban vehicle.
They will take you places you never dreamed you'd go. Oh, and original vehicles are not all you'll find in 2077. We also found room on our roster for some true automotive icons.
This is the Porsche. This is the Porsche. I bet it. That's the Porsche. That's Johnny Silverhand's Porsche. I know it. Did you see my post on Twitter? If not, go check it out.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I think it's fair to say we've come a really long way from Roach in The Witcher, so there's a lot to talk about.
Yep, there's a lot to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
Well, let's start with the various classes of different cars, because in the video we saw there were things like economy and luxury vehicles. But can you tell us a bit more about their kind of design philosophy? What does each kind of class offer when people are driving them around Night City?
Absolutely. Depending on the variation of the car that you're either buying or stealing, depending on your flavor. Yeah, you'll notice that they don't just look different. but they'll also drive different and feel different. If you're buying or stealing a nice fancy looking sports color version of a car, you'll notice that it drives, faster, sounds a little bit more punchy and sporty than, for example, a junkier version of that same car. It can have solar panels tied to the roof or some other pipes that are hot wiring some other, cyberpunk components in your car. And, if it looks cheap, it probably drives cheap too.
So it seems that not only do the cars look good on the outside, but there's an awful lot of detail on the inside as well. Things like the dashboard. So can you tell us more about that? Because I know if you find a Quadra Type 66 in the city, it's going to look totally different from the Quadra Type 66 that the gangs are driving out in the Badlands, both outside and inside.
Yep, definitely. If you're about to steal a very nice high-end car, for example, when you get in, you'll see the dashboard light up nicely, you'll see your dial indicators revving a little bit, but that may not exist for a junk version at all. It may have the dashboard ripped out completely. No matter what your flavor is, you'll find something that suits your needs.
So what about racing then? Will there be racing? Because I know people have been asking.
Yes, I did
we're absolutely
tweet about
going to
that
have
Porsche.
several races in the
uploaded
game.
on their Instagram
Different locations.
and I shared it.
If you know you're going to be driving in the Badlands, maybe bring a Nomad car because it's just built to driving in the Badlands. But if you know you're going to be racing in Night City, just bring the hottest wheels you've got because you're going to need all the power you can get. No matter where you're racing though, you need to bring a gun because this is Night City and you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, so you talk about bringing cars then. Let's talk about storing and calling cars because we know people can steal them. But what if somebody's found a car and they absolutely love this particular one? Is there a way for players to kind of build that collection? And then how do they actually, summon them?
Well, summoning cars works pretty much the same as you would summon Roach in The Witcher 3. Your transportation may or may not show up on a roof somewhere, but we're still working on fixing some bugs here and there. But yeah, if there's a car that you really, really like very much, if you can't wait to own a Quadra or a Type 66, you'll get a message from your fixer and says, hey, I've got a Quadra for sale for you, you want to buy it? All you have to do is drive over, pay the money, and you've got your very own Quadra. Not to mention that every single vehicle that you buy, every single player vehicle, is absolutely unique in every way. It's got a unique interior, unique exterior, paint job. It'll sound different, but it'll also handle different.
So in the video, we did mention there was space for a true automotive icon. Do you want to reveal what that actually is?
Of course. The car in question here is Johnny Silverhand's car. And Johnny Silverhand is, he's a big rocker boy and he needs some wheels to match.
I like it.
So we gave him a 911 Porsche from 1977, which means in 2077, Johnny's car is going to be exactly 100 years old.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for your time today. Personally, I think I'm going to try and balance being a super cool badass mercenary and driving a Mai, because I love that little car. I think I could do it, right? I could be cool and in a Mai.
Definitely. Mai is absolutely cool as long as you stay on the road and not on the sidewalk.
I'll try my very best. We'll see. In past episodes, we've said that music plays a huge part in bringing
This is another thing I want to see. Music shows the soundtrack.
Our teams went to incredible lengths to recreate and capture the sounds that really bring these vehicles to life. I mean, they might have had some fun driving them, but I'm pretty sure that's just a perk of the job.
I want to hear the engine. I want to hear the roar. How cool would it be, as this as your job, just to literally be doing this to get all the noise and sound effects?
We started with the visuals, and then we wanted to attach a proper sound to the visuals so that you have a nice feeling or a nice vibe of the complete car. And then we moved on to organizing the whole thing. Early on, we made the decision that we are going to record on the racetracks, and then we are going to record cars in movement. We started cooperation with Tomek Choki, who is very, very well-known racing driver in Poland. That's really a nice sensation when you're driving with a racing driver and then he pushes the car to the limits. You can feel the G's with the braking and tight cornering, and you can feel the car actually bending the laws of physics. We wanted to record a broad spectrum of cars. So we started with the powerful muscle cars, and then we went to more screaming tuned V6s, inline 6s, and then we went to V10s. We wanted to grab the off-road cars. We of course grabbed some drift cars, just to have the more aggressive character in the cars.
Amount of money being dumped into this game. Just think of how much money it costs just to, maybe it's free, who knows?
We had to assemble a sound group or a sound team that would make the placing of the mics process very, very fast, because we had plenty of cars to do in a short time span.
We had the team of mechanics from a rally team, and they helped us immensely. What they've done is allowed us to put the microphones into places that we wouldn't be able to access differently. Putting a mic right into the car, they helped us to locate the places that are best.
Usually place 3 microphones in the engine bay, 3 microphones in the exhaust, and 2 microphones in the car. Cars are very, very complex in terms of sound, and it's very difficult to get all the necessary components that you have to make it sound believable.
But we were trying to look for something that would give us the character of the engine.
They did a good job. They did an amazing job so far with just how they have it set up. Look at the detail. Look at where they're putting all these microphones just
we wanted
to
to
get
use normal
that car
organic
sound.
electric engine that you could actually have in the nowadays car.
We didn't want the engines to be futuristic sci-fi-ish sounding. We want them much more organic, much more down to earth, something that would represent the combustion engine. And on top of that, we added small elements like the futuristic horns or like a futuristic UI of a car. It makes you feel like you are in a car of the future, and some car might talk to you, other car might have blips and bobs that will make you feel like you're in a futuristic vehicle.
I got an iced coffee now. It's getting cold. I need to top off.
We wanted to be very, very
good.
close to what Mike set up in the lore. And early on, we decided to record Johnny's original car, which is Porsche 911 930 from 1977.
We recorded on dyno in control environment in a chamber. We could put Mike in very different places. Porsche 930 that we recorded is the only car really that will be really sounding like the real car in the real world.
That's badass. I hope we can collect Johnny Silverhand's car. I want that in my car.
We recorded more than 40 vehicles.
Not often do we record so many vehicles for a game that is not really a racing game.
Truth being told, this was the hardest part in my sound career, and I'm very, very proud of what we achieved with the sound team. This was something that we didn't do before, so creating the designs, creating the technology behind how the sound behaves, that's the best thing actually I ever did in my sound career.
It's sounding good. It's sounding amazing. I love it.
There has been a lot of talk about cars so far, so let's take a look at another collaboration. This time with Johnny Silverhand. I mean Keanu Reeves.
Oh, hell yeah.
The smell.
Makes sense. He has his own motorcycles, so he's using his own bikes.
Journey.
To record these sounds. If you guys didn't know that,
Freedom.
he's definitely a motorcycle advocate.
No, you know, it's not like deeper. Deep.
I'm Gard Hollinger.
I'm Keanu Reeves.
And we're here as representative of Arch
That's his
Motorcycle,
motorcycle. There
and
you
we're
go,
doing
Arch.
some audio recording for Cyberpunk 2077. Arch Motorcycle is a custom production motorcycle company. What's unique about it is that the motorcycles are built on a production platform, but each one is designed to be able to be personalized for each customer.
See how they got the microphones on the bike with the cardboard around it? Get the sounds.
When CD Projekt Red approached me about doing Cyberpunk 2077, they also spoke about integrating. They were fans of, or I guess people who worked at the company were fans of Arch Motorcycle, and so they broached the idea of creating kind of specialized Cyberpunk 2077 version of the Arch Motorcycle. And I thought that was a very fine idea.
We have a motorcycle we've designed and we've
badass.
been developing called the Method 143, and so that I think in particular was a creative inspiration for the designers. So they sort of used that as a basis and then went further. So it has a totally different, crazy looking power plant.
We did a little customization. It's good. I like it. Today we're capturing sounds, getting some actual sounds of a power plant, drivetrain, and characteristics of the motorcycle, which I'm sure they will, have play with and stuff. But the source will be pure.
They sound good. They sound real good. I ride a bike too,
It
so
has a sort of a racing engine in it compared to our production motorcycles. It has a dual exhaust system, and it sounds pretty.
does sound good.
Sounds good.
I could definitely blindfolded tell that that's the Method 143-ish sounding motorcycle. Yeah.
Oh my god, I want this bike. I just want this game. They did a good job. The design team and everything. I love the way they set this
role-playing
up.
aspect of the game. I think it'll be cool, to be on a bike and hearing that, going through the city streets and getting into the madness and
It
mayhem.
sounds so good. So good. Come on, guys. 1 month. 1 month.
As with all episodes of Night City Wire, if you're tuning in late or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon.
Seriously, they are.
Now
the
it's
amount
time
of
to
work,
talk about
just
styles
like
in
you
Night
said,
City.
for the
Are you
video,
more kitsch
the cars,
or neo-militarism?
no detail spared.
Welcome to the brief authoritative history of Night City. This chapter is devoted to so-called styles, deeply linked with the history of the world, and a very important aspect of life in the city. You can find them everywhere. In cars, clothes, guns, implants. They are your war paint. As one of our sponsors says, it matters not if you're dead, as long as you're doing it in style.
The moves on this girl! Swoosh, swoosh! Slicing them up like sashimi!
4 visual styles are evident in the Night City of 2077, each with its own history, status, and features. Neon hair, illuminated tattoos, and chrome. Function comes second. Looks are what matter.
Stanley here with you, and we got another day ahead of us in this city of dreams.
The Fourth Corporate War broke out, and entropism was born. Vast and deep crises forced people to find ways to survive by any means. Getting the job done, no matter how, was the primary goal. The look? Who cares?
I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her.
Fuck them! Fuck this job! Fuck this city!
Deadly elegance without ostentation. Corporate militaristic fashion, mostly seen in the wealthier parts of town. Substance over style, that's the motto. Celebrities, brain dance stars, business magnates, heirs to corporate fortunes and corporate executives. They abandoned the cold, deadly elegance of neo-militarism and returned to the roots of kitsch, but gave it a fresh, new look.
Oh shit, these hands. Sometimes it seems like I just brushed something and sparks fly.
Thank you for your attention. We wish you a very pleasant stay in our marvelous metropolis. Good luck, and goodbye.
NC's Legends! Know where you'll find most of them? The graveyard! Luckily, matters not where you're from, matters not where you start. What matters here is the walk you walk.
Just before this episode started, you might have tuned in early and seen our Cyberpunk cosplay contest finale. But just in case you've missed it, we've prepared a little summary for you featuring our very talented finalists. In the Cyberpunk cosplay contest, we asked our very talented community to cosplay a character from the game based on the art, screenshots, videos, cosplay guides, etc. We thought regular trophies weren't quite cool enough, so we decided that the top 3 will receive detailed props based on weapons from the game. They have been specifically made for this occasion, and the winners can do with them as they please. And now, the 12 best Cyberpunk cosplayers who have competed for first place in the first official Cyberpunk 2077 cosplay contest. Are you ready to meet them?
Yeah, we've been ready. Now they get to mess with the props, is that what it is? Or are they just showing all the cosplayers? She did a good job, both of them, Lizzie Wizzy and her. I want to be a cosplayer too. Seriously. Look at the amount of detail in that. Was that flames in his weapon? Did you see that? That looked like flames, right? Might have to go back and zoom in on that. If that's flames, that's pretty impressive. It's probably just the effect, probably just lights.
Now, before we wrap up today's episode, there is one more thing to talk about. Previously, we announced that Cyberpunk 2077 was coming to Stadia, and today we can tell you that it is arriving on November 19th alongside other platforms, and pre-orders are starting now. Night City Wire is almost over, but if you do want just a little bit more, then stay tuned right here on the Twitch channel and join us for our post-show. As always, don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly, and we'll be back with Night City Wire episode 5 soon. You know what, actually, there is one more thing we're going to show you. Welcome to the diner.
Dude, look
So
at
what do
this
you want?
detail.
Supercar? Big house? You want to rule this city? Well, you ain't getting anywhere without an upgrade. You need a softer touch, stronger spine, because taking over Night City ain't gonna be easy.
I'm in. Cyberpunk 2077. Available November 19th.
GOG, people. GOG. Guys, what do you think? I was excited for a lot of the different sounds that we're going to be seeing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I was kind of hoping about a little bit more than that, but we do have the post show. So I am excited for the post show. Remember, guys, we're going to be doing the post show. We're going to live stream the post show as well. Developers. All right, you guys. I have no idea what is going on right now. Hey, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but hey, tune in for the post show because that is what we're going to be coming up with next, and they're going to have chats with developers and more insight. So I will be right back. Take a quick 1-minute break. I will catch you guys in a sec.
Right on the video itself.
Hello everyone, I'm Alana, I'm joined by Jesse. We've already done this and spoken about how excited we are about Cause.
Yeah.
Let me ask you again, Jesse. How can everyone who can
All right,
now
guys.
hear us...
I need to go top off my coffee. That's
figured
what
it
I had
out,
to
tech
do.
issues.
Sorry.
Get
And we
involved.
had to come for the post
Well,
show
first
for
off,
Cyberpunk.
nice to hear from you, and it's nice to be heard. And
Give me a
you
break,
know,
all right?
it's-
I don't live
unfortunately,
stream
no one
all the
heard
time,
my,
so working it out. I think I'm doing all right.
cry for help,
Okay? So, like I said, it's
very
been a little
offensive,
hectic
so-
lately, especially when you
Right,
have
I mean,
little
yeah.
ones running around.
Glad we bleeped that.
Anyway, we, if you want to get involved today with the post show and you want to let people know what you're thinking, obviously there are polls on your screen right now. If you click there, you can answer whatever your vibe is, however you're feeling. If you have questions,
I just want details.
comments,
I want to hear more details.
leave them in chat. We will
from the
grab a
developers.
bunch
That's
of
what
them
we want,
and,
right?
answer them to the best of our ability, or maybe we'll bring someone on who can answer them better, right?
You
Alana?
always bring someone on.
We
So-
absolutely will, yes. We will be hearing from a developer, and we have a cool cosplay guest, which you guys will absolutely hear more from later. We're very excited to have them on, so yeah, plenty of questions you guys can ask that we will feed directly to a dev live here. So, you know, don't hold back. Let's do it all. Let's ask all the juicy questions we have left. But first off, let's just jump into our impressions of what we just saw here, Jesse. We definitely got a vehicle-heavy overview, or a vibe from this episode of Night City Wire. How are you feeling about the cars?
You know, I'm thrilled that there is a large variety of cars. I'm curious, and I definitely have a question for Miles when he comes on. I have a question
That is
about...
our dev, by the way. Miles tossed.
I have a question about a long ago. It might have been Night City Wire, one of them. There was a thing that related to stats and the theft of cars, and I'm curious how that relates to the types of cars, right? So economy versus heavy versus a sporty car. How do your stats affect the theft of those things? I do not
Good
know.
question.
So I'm curious
Good
to figure that out.
It also just seems like you can have a lot of them. I remember talking to someone on the CD Projekt
What do
Red
you guys
team
think? What are you
not
most
that long
excited to
ago who
see
said,
in
If
vehicles?
you wanted to play the game
Honestly,
as a person who just wants to
that's-
collect all of the vehicles, in theory, you could do that, but it would take you a ridiculous amount of time.
That's
so I'm
great,
like,
though. I
seeing the
want a
variety of
ridiculous
vehicles
amount
in
of time. This
City
game,
Wire
I want
makes me
to
more
be
excited
like The Witcher 3. I want to play
see how
it like
different
1,000
people play this
hours
game
and still find
the
new
different
stuff, right?
approaches they have, what they want to collect, what kind of character they are, what kind of build they have, what they look like. I just feel like we're going to see a lot more variety than, we could have in The Witcher, for example, because at the end of the day, still Geralt. No complaints. Love Geralt, but not as diverse.
Yeah, there is no
that's
Porsche
true.
Roach, so you get what you get. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't
we have both
change your
played the game
horse.
as well, Jesse, and I feel like it's worth mentioning.
Dude, look at that little car. I just want
the way
to
that you
crank
summon
upstairs
vehicles
like
is
that.
Virtually exactly the same as the way that you summon Roach, right?
Yeah.
Which is
You
just
just,
D-pad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it also pings on the map if you park somewhere nearby. It'll be like, hey, your car's right over here. You left it in the middle of the street, right where you left it. And when you get back, everyone's like, what are you doing? Look, I had to go kill a guy, but I'm back now.
Priorities, man. But yeah, it's very cool that basically.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate that. Like I said,
yeah, you just I think it's down or up on the
for a
D-pad,
year
and
starting
it'll
YouTube
just
and streaming,
drive around a corner and just wait for you. Like
it's been one of those things. Like it's been a journey. But you guys supporting the channel, coming on here, especially like I said, this is first time streaming. I mean, I think I got the set up going pretty good. Last time it was just Twitch streaming a couple times. I want to do more of it, but like I said, between work and everything, it gets rough. But
let's work on that. But for anyone who missed it,
look at these
there are
trucks. Look
multiple
at
car classes,
the level of detail. By the way, I'm curious how many vehicles we can put in our garage.
In addition to all of their
Better be all of it. I mean,
and,
took 8 years. I better have like a humongous garage so I could fit every vehicle into it. I'm a hoarder. I like to collect everything. That's what I do in The Witcher. My chest is filled with stuff I don't even need.
What vehicle class are you most excited for? There's a poll going right now. If you would like to let us know. There are many to choose from. And in each category, it looks like there are, like Lana was saying, a lot of different cars and probably a lot of things you can do to match.
That's a good question. A sleeper car, looks beat up, but it's a beast. We have seen some like that.
Street racing, which is a thing I didn't think that I knew before today. I don't think if I was aware of that, or maybe I missed it somewhere. When I played the game, I think you and I played on the same build, Jesse. I know they were still tweaking driving. They had mentioned that they were considering going with something that felt a little bit like Forza Horizon versus something that felt maybe like GTA. I don't remember, that's not a quote, so don't quote me, but they were just playing with different driving styles in game, and I was like, I'm very interested to see how whatever they end up going with, however it is tuned, ends up feeling in street races, because, the way that a car feels, very important, because I've been playing GTA for years and still don't particularly enjoy street races.
No,
Horizon,
I
on the
agree.
other hand,
I
love
agree.
it.
I'm
So,
not a fan of
it's good way to
GTA
spend
street
time.
racing
I always
either.
enjoy street race. Very curious.
You're talking about a game that was made back in 2013, I hope this is light years out of that. And with the amount of detail and stuff that CDPR puts into it, yeah, I definitely hope.
How intense is this stuff going to get, I wonder?
And when they stick you in the driver's seat and you have that view and perspective, I think the idea of feel...
That's a good idea.
Because
one
you're
SUV,
in it, right?
one
You're
sports
in
car,
the
and one
seat,
economy
so
car.
It's a little bit...
Hopefully it's all of it, every
more
vehicle.
Part of the requirement, kind of, is the idea of, like...
Don't forget motorcycles, Bob. Motorcycles. They look badass.
Feel like I'm in the car. And I think when they showed the sound and the way they did the sound engineering, I thought that was phenomenal, because I think at the end of the day, having all of those microphones, the whole idea is you probably shouldn't realize that they have all those microphones, is just feel like you're in a car. Everything you would hear in a car. So you wouldn't notice, right? It's one of those weird things where good sound design is just like, oh yeah, well that's just how that sounds. Right?
I love the nerdy sound design stuff. Like, I love seeing people do those jobs and do them well. I think it's so cool. We did just have a question on screen from, I think, Vanilla Latte. What's the name of that? Respect. Again, that's my drink of choice. You gotta get a vanilla latte.
Vanilla
asking
latte.
If they think that we'll have to wage it before we go into races, and I think that's an interesting question, because it could tie into the economy in a really interesting way, which is a part of RPGs that I tend to really enjoy, is like, how do you get around the economy? Something that I've enjoyed since the original Fable, where you were buying houses or visiting traders at different points time and like playing with the stock market. I think that stuff is really fun, and it's definitely a way that you can make money, is if you can basically wager on yourself in a street race. Versus every other vehicle.
I hope so. I mean, if the game is based around a lot of vehicles and doing stuff, why not street racing? Why not being able to wager? Just like fights in The Witcher 3, you know?
I don't know. Could get pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would love. I think, you know, that is
I
definitely
mean,
a dev question.
what is something you guys want to see when it comes to vehicles? I mean, obviously, we're not going to get too much customization, if any, really at all, besides collecting cars.
Yeah,
but
yeah, as we were talking about,
I mean, I want wagers. I mean, I'm not big into racing, but I definitely want racing. I want it to be part of that world. I want to be able to wager money in race, because if I can collect pimped out cars or high horsepower cars, I want to be able to show that off and gain money that way.
Does seem like it's a very cool part of their job, as I think Holly joked about, is like, you guys just get to
They have a badass
drive around
job.
in sweet cars
Way
after
badass
reading
job.
up some microphones. That seems like the best thing ever. But it's interesting to see, like, well, we put a microphone here for this sound, or here for this sound, or here for this sound, just to make sure that things sound completely authentic. And
Right, the level of detail of them putting sounds, like microphones, all over the car.
Necessarily future tech. I like that. What do you think, Jesse?
Well, I mean, I think that's the vibe of Cyberpunk in general, is that it's the future, but we're not in flying cars. We're not the Jetsons. It's like it's a
There are
grounded
flying cars,
future.
though.
I mean, you're right. You're right. You're right. But only
As far as we
Cobos
know,
go
we
around
can't
in
get
those
flying
because-
cars. That's what they said, so...
But for most people, the vibe is you're not going to have that luxury. You're not going to have cars that sound like beep, 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 beep. I guess that's a future car sound. I don't know.
Yes, very luxury. They beep, 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 beep,
beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
He's silly.
But what you are going to have is the gritty, nasty, we are just scraping to get by.
Guys, it's not that future dystopian where you got that beep, 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 like that type of stuff. It's literally, this game is post-apocalyptic,
that isn't
right?
as polished as Night City wants it to be, and most people
Like, it's post-apocalyptic game, meaning everything we see is just an advancement because of wartime. You know, literally war has pushed the economy and everything you see in this game further, with corporations battling each other. That's why the public doesn't really have what these corporations and all these high executives have. That's why you don't see little flying cars all over the place and different things like that. They just get what they get. It's like the space race, you know, like everyone was competing to get better, and the peasants down below just pick up the scraps. That's why I love those cars that are beaters, but just, you know, like beefed up muscle cars.
Understand what's up for me, and then I'm sure I'll specify, but still waiting for the game to come out.
I'm still trying to figure out the benefit of 6 wheels versus 4 when driving through this. I love how they started showing cars, and every so often it'd be just a 6-wheeled car, and I'm like,
Maybe not. Maybe it's just a design. I don't know.
Extra wheels?
6-wheel drive. 6-wheel drive. Maybe you might need 6-wheel drive. We got some off-roading we have to do.
A lot of dirt.
Terrains and that.
We have a question. Do you guys think this will be a bigger and better than GTA?
That's not even a question.
Sure.
That it's definitely. I would honestly assume.
We'll find out, right?
You're talking about
My biggest
the
thing with that
online
particular
version of
question
GTA
is,
compared
look, I
to a
myself
single-player
have made
RPG.
comparisons to GTA already in this post-show.
Think about that. You're comparing a single-player game to an online game, but don't forget, CDPR is creating the multiplayer version for Cyberpunk that's going to be released probably around 2022, they said. So that you could probably start comparing to GTA a little bit. But you're talking about two different versions of a game. You're talking about a legit RPG compared to GTA 5 online.
Missions that we've seen in previous gameplay, where you go to the Maelstrom sort of hive base.
I like
has,
RPGs.
I believe it was like
I hope that's why
5
you're here.
Different outcomes. I got one where I managed to avoid fighting anyone because I managed to get the two sides who were involved there to fight each other.
I agree. If
So
it's like
it's
GTA
a
5,
lot more of an
then
RPG
I don't
than
know.
about
With the
your
street racing, I agree.
Take on Night City, which is obviously very different to GTA. I don't imagine that the open world will feel that dissimilar to GTA necessarily, being that they are both based on, well, in 5 at least, GTA, both based on the West Coast, California, basically. So that part of it, I think, will feel similar. I don't know that I can tell you if It's going to be better than GTA, but it is a very different game, and I always want to just remind people they're very, very different things.
That's true. They are very different. That's a good question down there. Are we going to need a refuel? That would be an awesome aspect in the game.
And the fact that they
Hey.
out and we're like, all right, what is the
Hey, it's
car
all right. I'm glad you're
this
here.
man
Thank you
would
for
drive?
showing
I'm
up.
like, well, we're gonna pick a Porsche. and we're
You can
gonna
always go
make
back
it
and rewatch the beginning
coolest looking.
if you missed out
It's so
from
ridiculous
CDPR.
that when you look at it compared to everything else in the game,
I have it all on here. We got it. We got it recorded.
by the fact that they're giving not only him his own style, but everything about him his own style.
Johnny Silverhand.
I'm thrilled that they decided to go with 100 years. I don't know why that's great. I don't know why, but I love it. It's a
I
detail
agree.
that is unnecessary, but it's fantastic.
I agree. Johnny Silverhand's car, look at that. I love that it's old because Johnny Silverhand's a rocker, like old school feel, right? And they give him that old Porsche muscle car, you know, from the 70s. It's just, I love it. I love it. They did a good job. I like that they picked that car too because it just fits Johnny Silverhand. To me, personally, I think Johnny Silverhand's car is badass. And I hope we're able to collect that car. That's probably the only thing I'm going to really drive if I can get it.
I love it though. I think it's so cool. I agree. The 100 years thing is awesome. Like it seems like a thing that this particular character would do. He seems old school. He just comes across that way.
See? Seems old school, just like she said. I agree. It does. It seems very old school.
A chip in V's head, which for the record, Jesse and I, our gameplay, we did not have Johnny Silverhand talking to us at all. I think that was like probably just beyond what we played. So maybe my guess is that you get Johnny Silverhand maybe like 5 hours in.
Yeah.
6 or so? I don't know.
5 hours in, Johnny Silverhand, like, you know she's played the game, guys. I mean, she's got some she's a character in the game. Take it with a grain of salt, but I'm gonna see 5 hours in the game you get Johnny Silverhand.
He definitely has this sort of like rebel vibe, but at the same time, it's kind of like burn it all down. So
yeah.
it's great to see these different aspects of him as a character, and hopefully they are developed more and more as you go through the game, so that you as a player who may not be familiar with the lore of the Cyberpunk universe get to kind of experience who this dude is.
Yeah, if you guys are not familiar with the lore of Cyberpunk, remember guys, tune into my channel. I have lore videos, and I have more. I'm going to have a lore video on the history of vehicles that's going to be coming out. So if you guys want to know the back history, which is actually really excited.
Chat, what are your reactions to the car? Besides us talking, there's a poll right now. You can tell us in chat what you think, and I believe there should be more information coming soon about that, so stay tuned.
Exciting stuff. You know what I love? Information. Great stuff. Love to see it. So we've already spoken about his car, but let's jump into just the Keanu Reeves involvement in this particular Night City. Why? It's always nice to see him. It's nice to see him. Just love seeing his face. You know?
He always has this look of just like, man, I'm just excited to be around. I'm just happy people want to talk to me. I don't know why.
I'm hyped too. Seriously, I am extremely hyped.
That I feel like he just sort of at some point became a darling that we all love. And
This game is going to be so massive. Is the lore long? Well, some of the videos, it's a little bit long. There's a lot of detail. Like, knowing the backstory of Cyberpunk 2077 is a good thing to do because a lot of people don't know this world very well at all. So it's good to jump in and get somewhat of an understanding and backstory on it. And I try and break it up as much as possible and try and have it, you know, as short as possible. I don't want it incredibly long, but then again, there is a lot of detail. So you're taking something that's got a huge amount of detail and shrinking it within like maybe a 12-minute video, 15-minute video, you know what I'm saying? So it's something you got to pick and choose and trying to abbreviate the best that I possibly can.
Keanu, you know that for years he's been a motorcycle dude. This is like his passion. He loves to ride. And as someone who is incredibly terrified of the open road and nothing between me and it.
Makes sense to me that you feel that way. That checks out with what
Is there an order to watch it? No. Oh, my very first video, like everything you pretty much need to know about its history. Yeah, go check that out. and it'll tell you all the backstory. That's I'll probably link those. I'll post some of those to Twitter as well. I'll refresh it, or just go down my video list. It should be everything you need to know about the backstory and Night City. If you guys go and check out the Night City lore and how Night City started, that's something you guys are also going to want to check out as well. Because you'd be surprised like how Night City started. It wasn't like they're kind of two different videos. Well, they are two different videos, but there's more detail in the one about the entire world of Cyberpunk and what's happening all around the world, and then the other one just pretty much focuses on Night City and how it started. You're right, I should make a playlist. I'll put those two into a playlist. That way if you watch one, it'll skip right to the next one.
It's nice stuff. I got called out here. Someone said Porsche over Mustang any day. It's fair.
A lot of people saying their first playthrough is going to be non-lethal.
Definitely a Porsche over a Mustang any day. I mean,
it'll be a long playthrough. You'll have to come up with great strategies on how to do stuff, but solid advice, yeah.
How are your guys' first playthrough going to be? After you saw that comment, it's made me think now. You're going to be stealthy, you're going to be just all out, guns out blazing.
Answer your questions, so get them ready.
You can be Cybertech Netrunner.
With, you know, if you have questions about doors, I hear he's really good at answering questions about doors.
I'm just waiting for this developer to get in here.
So, if you're
we
ready.
have heard that. Very excited. Don't know what it means, but very excited to learn more.
Yeah.
Before we talk to Miles, get your questions ready, everyone. Let's talk about some of the visual styles of Night City. We have seen this, I feel like, sort of touched on every Night City wire. They kind of just touch on a little parts of it, but I feel like we had a bit of a deeper dive into the way that Night City looks this time around. How are you feeling about the city, Jesse?
I'm still always impressed. What they show in the trailers and in the different Night City wires and things.
Guns out, techie.
Having driven
seriously, techie makes me wanna. It makes me wanna go. No, seriously, I like the techie, but I'm also a guns out person as well. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like. I don't know. Sometimes when you get in heavy situations and you're literally trying to.
You know, discovering.
Trying to be techie or sneaky and it doesn't work out, you just gotta bust the guns out and just be like, screw it. Like this right here that you're seeing, just chop them up, right? Just dice them up with mantis arms. That's what you need to do.
I don't want to say seedy because it's supposed to be corpo, so everything seems very polished and neat. But you know, like underneath it all, it's grimy. The different areas of town that the neon, the use of just the way they created the buildings, right? Even the buildings have a vibe, like a future vibe, but also kind of still rooted in reality. Everything about this city is amazing, and just exploring it is fun. Someone earlier before the stream started asked if there were other ways that I should explore the city besides just driving, and I was like, look, driving's great, but you may just want to get out and walk.
Yeah, same thing when I play The Witcher 3. When I'm out walking around, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like walking through the villages and the towns because you get everything in more slowly. When you're just racing through on Roach, you miss a lot of detail in the game. Same thing with driving. Like, look at GTA 5. If you're flying through, you're going to miss out on so much detail. Once in a while, just walking around.
Be like, oh, I was on this street, the one with this restaurant, and I love the idea of that and that translating into the real world. But
see,
this
you'll miss out a lot if you just drive around everywhere nonstop.
Styles, they are kitsch, intremism, neo-militarism, and neo-kitsch. And this is a thing that I've been saying since the first time that I even really saw the game, but definitely when I first played it. So many of the NPCs have such dramatically different styles. Like the diversity of style is so unique. The way people are dressed, the colors, the way they've dyed their hair, like this neo-kitsch here is like seems like what the celebrities kind of do. It's just everyone you see on the street is a completely different looking human. I'm sure realistically there have to be some doubles. That's in theory that has to be a thing, but just dudes wearing skirts with green mohawks and nobody cares, and it's super cool. Like I really love the visual variety of just the characters that you walk around and getting a little bit more information about these distinct styles and where they come from. Like I wonder if as we're playing we will hear more about, you know, the origins of different particular styles. Like we know that entremism specifically is about not caring at all about the way that you look. which I respect. Neo-militarism is about elegance without ostentation, and the neo-kitsch is basically just super, super, super rich, kitschy. So very, very fancy stuff. So I think that just the attention to detail, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's overwhelming, and I love it.
That's what it is.
A poll result already is that 39% of you say that you prefer neo-militarism as a style. I get it. It looks sleek. It looks future. It looks like what you'd expect in a world like this. However, have you really taken a look?
I'm going to be walking around myself unless maybe it's a desert
where,
road. Yeah, I agree with that one. What about fall damage? Will it be like The Witcher? I hope not. God. I took a step off a porch, broke both my legs, and died. So, yeah, The Witcher's fall damage was ridiculous. It got pretty annoying. Especially, I hope they tightened up walking and running. Like, when you play The Witcher and you're going right and you want to turn left, it's like if you got the analog stick or your mouse and you go left, it's like Geralt is still going right, and that's a problem because, oh, I just went off the cliff or something like that and fall down and end up dying. It was ridiculous.
I think it's happening.
I have a pretty good feeling that they tightened it up.
Hey,
Miles.
How you doing, Miles?
Nice to be here with you guys.
About time.
I'm doing fine.
Let's do this.
Great. I just watched the episode.
This is what we wanted. This right here. We want the developer to tell us more.
And pieces, and actually, it's really nice to see it all come together.
I imagine. Yeah, it's very, very cool stuff. So we've got a lot of broad questions today, but just for everyone in chat so that they know, what do you specialize in? What specifically can you speak to where the game is concerned?
Yes, so I'm one of the level designers working on the game, and previously I worked on Witcher 3, and then I think after Blood and Wine I switched to Cyberpunk, right? And together with the other level designers, we've been making sure that well, the city that you walk through actually plays nicely, right? We've been preparing all the locations that you will visit during quests, right? We've been working closely with our dear colleagues, the quest designers, and many other departments to make sure that the narrative is supported in these and that all the tools that you as a player have at your disposal, right? The cyberware that you have, the different skills you can invest in, and that you can actually use them on the level.
We appreciate that, for sure. So anyone who has any questions about level design, feel free to ask us. We will throw some of your questions to Miles here, but I guess I really wanted to ask, because we've touched on it a little bit today, if you can speak to it, how much of an understanding of just playing through the game of these different styles will we get? Are there different regions where people dress more kitsch than other regions? Is this something that is actually built into the level design, or is it more passive than that?
It's actually something we built the world on, really. It's something that we really thought about a lot. I think one of the graphics you kind of see that we just show, like this timeline, this roadmap going through, right? And we actually really sat down and came up with the history of how these styles, you know, sort of affected the world and how they evolved from one into the other. And for us, it really helped us sort of define the looks of the city. All these styles come attached with certain demographics, right? Certain social classes, right? The entropy is for generally something you would see in poorer areas, whereas the neo-kitsch one, of course, that's something that the super rich afford for themselves. And for us, it was really cool, you know, if you, for example, start making cars or any of the designs, you know, like the devices is what I wanted to say, right? Like a phone or anything, then you can always look at this and go, okay, how would this device look like in the same, in the different art styles, right? So how would the cell phone look as an entropy phone? How would it look in a neo-kitsch version, right? And you'll see these with things even like the vending machines in the city, right? And that allows the player to always kind of gauge in what part of city or what kind of environment he's in, right? In a rich corpo area, you'll not find any entropic looking vending machines, for example, right? And again, in terms of world building, this has been tremendously valuable for us because it was something that really allowed us also to communicate about what we wanted to do in certain areas.
Miles, this is less of a question and more of a demand, I think. Chat wants to know, Miles, doors? Explain!
Oh my god. All right. Yeah, I always feel a bit bad about bringing this up because it seems like something that only I have done, right? There's barely anything in the game's development that only one person has done. There's always multiple people doing something, right? So it's hard to kind of claim credit for one thing. But this term actually comes from my dear friend Fabian, our German PR guy, who's actually sort of been trolling me at the beginning a lot by mentioning that I've had to work a lot on the doors in Witcher 3, and it actually derived from one certain bug that I told him about, which he kind of blamed on me happening, which was in Blood and Wine. There was this moment where we had this bug where we somehow, for random reasons, the doors just always opened after a certain moment in the game, even the ones that were supposed to be locked, so you could go into houses and drop underground and all that. Was nasty, right? And yeah, we eventually ended up fixing this bug. I don't want to go too deep into that, but ever since then I've sort of turned into the door guy. Fabian has made his his quest to make this a thing, and in Cyberpunk, as a level designer, you can't avoid working with doors. So actually the level design team was the one team that sort of went around setting up all the doors, making sure that this one is locked, this one is not locked, this one you can break open with your Gorilla Arm cyberware, right? And all of these properties.
See, that's awesome. Certain doors bust open with your Gorilla
So if you
Wear.
need anything, need to know anything
Those
about
arms,
the
you
doors
know, like you got super strength, you rip stuff
come
apart.
in the different
That's a pretty cool detail. You can bust open doors like that. So if you don't have that and you have to hack it, or you don't have like a hacking skill, bust the door open. See the different options they're probably giving us here? That's got me pretty excited to hear that.
Cool, but still kind of cool superpowers ever is you're just door guy, so I respect it.
Yeah, kinda. But you know, the interesting thing about doors, as is, you know, with many things in video games, is that something that seems so simple, something that players just, you know, that walk past, they don't really acknowledge it in ideal cases, is something that to us designers can pose a huge challenge. Right? It's something where we have meetings upon meetings on to decide on what properties these doors kind of have, how the player can react with them, and how it might fuck up our quests, right? When, you know, a door doesn't work.
It's so funny to think about, but you're absolutely right. We appreciate you. Thank you for making nice doors for us.
I'm definitely starting Nomad first. I will be Nomad, and then I'm going to go Street Kid, and then Corpo. I don't know. Corpo, for me, like, Nomad fits my type of style, and I'm really interested to see how that's going to be. Like, I guess it fits better because
also features a fully dynamic day and night cycle,
we're not going to be out. We don't have a night city, so you start from the outside and work your way in. So I do like that feeling to start off first.
Going from daytime into nighttime, right? The amount of people on the streets changing and all that, and of course all the lights turning on, right? Cyberpunk is something that is deeply associated with neon lighting. I actually have one here in the back. I decided to turn it off after I realized it's way too bright on the camera. But you know,
I like that neon
everywhere.
sign. I
And
want
seeing
that
the
samurai
transition
neon
is
sign
really nice. And for
to
us,
hang
it's
that
also
up behind me
really
when I
cool
Twitch stream.
to kind of break open this association of Cyberpunk with the night, right? Because the city and our game world also exists during daytime, right? And in some parts, one might even say that daytime can be even more dangerous than night times, right? In certain ways, certainly. And yeah, of course, we also have a weather system that people even react to.
You're doing
right?
the opposite,
Take out
Corpo,
umbrellas,
Street
start
Kid,
raining,
then
and,
Nomad,
you'll
the
also
exact
see,
opposite that way.
puddles forming on
I
the
know a lot of
streets,
people
right,
kind of
that
want
will go away
Corpo,
when the
and
sun
like, I
comes
don't
back
know.
out. There's
All I know is I'm
quite
going
a
to play
bit of,
every single one of them,
cool
so, and it's going to be all
technical
different
eye-candy
playthroughs. And
stuff
think about it,
happening.
even though you play
That
Nomad
brings out
once,
the
you could
idea
play it
of this
again
world
and have
actually
different
being alive,
choices, different
right?
options
And
of
it's-
how you want to play. So think about
actually to the point where I
that.
don't
That's
even know
that's why
what
this game
my
is going to
favorite
have
combination of
a
time of day and
huge
weather
amount
really
of
is,
content.
because there's always one spot
You
in
already
the
saw
city
the
that,
scripts. I
you know,
posted that up
will look
on a Twitter
amazing
post.
in one
The
version
scripts
or
are
the other.
massive, like 2
yeah,
feet
I can't wait for
tall,
everyone
and that
to
was only
actually be able
part
to roam
of the
city
script. You know, that's just giving us a glimpse of how much dialogue that's in this
Artist wants
game.
to know, are there any areas that are only accessible with the double jump mechanics or cybernetics?
Oh, that's a really good question to ask a level designer, and I should probably know, right? I actually don't know if we have lots of areas where it's completely blocked off to other players if they don't have double jump, but we do certainly have moments where people with double jump are able to take shortcuts and benefit from being able to access higher
Same.
ground, right?
I'm gonna
Be
play them
that
all.
to be able to get into a position so you can do an aerial takedown, right? Or to be able to reach certain places.
Yeah, the script is
faster,
ridiculous,
and
right?
more easily than other playstyles. With the game being so big, I will say that I personally, I don't know every single nook and cranny, which is, you know, a great thing for me when I eventually get to play it. So we level designers and also like the like all the other teams, we are able to surprise each other with the stuff that we kind of put into the game. So I wouldn't be surprised to find that, you know, maybe a colleague of mine was able to actually, or somehow, you know, in an open world activity, put some loot that can only be accessed via double jump and so on. It's all part of our mission to, you know, make the skills that you actually invest in and the character that you build feel worthwhile, right? If there's no spots to double jump on, what point is there to get the double jump, right? And
For sure.
yeah, we always want to make it so that it feels worthwhile what you invested in.
We've got another question here from Sidrek. It says, it's clear we can steal cars, but do we get to store and keep them indefinitely?
I doubt it. I don't think you
this
could.
is actually something I would like to answer a bit more broadly, because Jesse, I remember you asked about a question, or you wanted to ask about a question, right? Look at that.
Really?
So if I remember correctly, you wanted to know, can you maybe ask that one as well so I can tie it into this one?
Yeah. So the question that I had for you was, you know, we have economy cars and executive cars and heavy cars and sporty and hyper. I think that's all of them, and motorcycles. And we have all these variety of cars, and I know that in a previous Night City Wire, there was talk about how the RPG elements, the stats you have, affect your ability to, like, you know, you can rip the door off a car if you're jacked. What is the sort of mechanics with all these different types of car, like RPG mechanic-wise, breaking into a car that is a heavy car versus an economy car? What is the difference there? Is it just as simple as, like, well, you have the stat to unlock a car, so you got it, or is there layers to that? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so as you said, Cyberpunk is an RPG, right? So stats are important, and like when the player actually starts out the journey, they won't just be able to steal any car, because essentially you're not good enough. You need to learn, right? And this is not so complicated, because ultimately, you know, the whole mechanic is kind of part of the experience, right?
See, I like that. I like how you have to learn, like your player progresses with you, kind of like how GTA 5 stats are. You got to build your, you know, stamina up, and you have to build, you know, everything else up, like flight skills, driving skills. It seems like same type of concept, I should say.
You'll mostly use if you want to yeet people out of their cars while they're driving, right? That's the strength one. And the other one is for cars that are parked, right? For the ability to break into it. However, we don't really do much layering beyond that, simply because it's you know, like you learn the skill, and then you're good enough to be able to break into this. It's sort of part of, you know, V's journey and becoming like a better and better mercenary, right? Now, as for the question that was asked about whether I get to keep my stolen cars, the answer is no, you actually don't get to keep your stolen cars.
See, I figured you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't be able to keep the stolen cars.
You'll be able to, basically, any car that you might want to steal, you'll also be able to acquire it in other ways, right?
Okay.
And then when you actually have gathered up a collection of cars, we've mentioned before that you can actually call them, right? Like the car will just drive up to your position. But with multiple cars, you actually have like a little drop-down menu, even if you want.
You could
to
choose
decide
which car.
car it is, or which vehicle, because we also have bikes that will drive up to your position that you can then go on a car ride with.
Good.
I love
Good.
it. We have another question here from Dwezzle, who said, "How much customization is there for vehicles?"
I'm a sucker for hoarding.
Colors,
I'm a
decals,
hoarder. That's what I am.
Yeah. So while
When it comes to
we don't really
collectibles.
have that much customization in the game for the cars, what we do have is different variants of cars, right? So basically, you'll be able to acquire and pick like different variations of the same type of car. And as Paul mentioned in the Night City Wire episode, they also drive differently, right? So it really depends on what kind of a type of car you will want to have, even of a specific, how do you even call it, type. That it really depends. It depends on you. And I mean, you know, some of the cars there, it's kind of like for example the Porsche, right? That's like a car that's when you get it in the game, I think it's something that, you know, like is nice as it is. It has some history. We actually just didn't randomly pick, you know, Porsche to work with us. But the car is actually, you know, like it's actually part of the original lore. That Johnny was driving a Porsche car in around the 2020s. I'm not actually exactly sure which time. So that's where that.
That's why I follow
is,
Porsche
right?
on Instagram
really
and everything else.
So
So when they drop something,
there's intent behind it.
that's why I was
You know,
saying,
there
you
was lots of
guys
thoughts
pay
that
attention to
went
the
into
lore.
it,
There's
and,
so much in this
we're
game,
super happy,
world
of
building,
course, that
everything.
You'll be able to.
It's not just on characters.
drive
It's
the
literally
original
the
car.
world building in this game falls back on,
Going
like,
back
you know,
to customization,
everything between
Tom
vehicles,
PSV
between
wants to know, can we mix
businesses.
styles as in
I mean,
outfits?
just its way of
Is
life.
the
That's what I
outfits
love about
or,
Cyberpunk. It's
like,
not
you know,
just
is it full
on
body
its
things,
characters.
or we'll be able to mix pieces of clothing.
We actually have both. So, you know, you'll be able to mix.
The game is based off Mike Pondsmith's tabletop RPG,
outfit, right?
Cyberpunk 2020, and there's a Cyberpunk Red as well.
As to what that might mean, because, you know,
I do have that. It is a tabletop RPG, and it's got lore behind that as well. So, like the world lore book that CDPR came out with recently, where it's got everything in game for 2077. A lot of that lore stems from Cyberpunk 2020 and Cyberpunk Red, and that's also where I get a lot of information from as well. It's from the original
So I assume
Cyberpunk.
that's the kind of thing you're alluding to.
Exactly.
Very cool. Sorry that I cut you off there. We have another question
No
from
worries.
the Raging Canadian.
No, they said flying
flying
vehicles. I
available
said no. No, they said no.
You won't
You'll be able to ride in them.
One and drive around it freely, because that would give me and my colleagues all sorts of nightmares.
Yeah.
It would ramp up the amount of content we would create beyond what we've already created quite a bit, right? There's a lot of design questions that you would need to ask if you made flying vehicles available to the player. However, on the occasion, you'll be able to enter a flying vehicle and go on a trip with it. And yeah, that's mostly like a quest thing, though. And these moments are kind of special. Even, you know, like especially also, I guess, lore-wise, if you will, flying cars are not something that is really available to the general masses, right? It's something that only the super rich people have, kind of like private jets nowadays, right? So, yeah.
You guys don't have private jets?
No, something.
Showboat.
Level design, they say. It will be fun, they said, right? Oh, my mom, I should have listened to her.
Is that Chobo? Chobo 20? I can't see if that's an E in my eyes. Chobo. Chobe? Thank you. Chobe 22.
Chobe.
What is
Chode.
the in-game
Chobe.
music like? Are there radios in cars? And can you change the music?
Oh, most definitely. I'm going to say that. No?
So, I think this is something... I'm not actually quite sure if I'm allowed to talk about it yet, or if this is something we're still keeping a bit
Just
as a
tell us.
surprise.
Just
I
tell
don't
us.
think I have
Just
any
tell us.
means right now to figure out if I can, so I'll, you know, when in doubt...
Don't say anything? No, tell us.
Say a bit less on this, but yeah, we've sort of already, you know, you've already heard broadcasts of you know, what was it, Stanley Media sort of talking over, you know, like greeting everyone, hello, Night City, right? That so there's
Yeah, the lore, man.
something we're
The lore
doing.
is where it's
You
at. I
can
swear.
guess
There's a lot,
what that
especially
is.
when you're jumping into a game
But
this
for
big.
sure,
It's good to have some
so,
background on it.
You know, lots of energy actually went into making the music, and something that I find that is really, really cool is that And it sounds a bit like I'm insulting our composers now, but sort of they have opted to have like very little music when you're just walking around the city, right? There's very little ambient music, so mostly you'll have lots of the sort of city sounds, right? You'll hear the audio of the ads being blared around the city, in different languages, and that is super cool. And then music kicks in cool story moments to underline that, right? Appropriate to the situation, but also, of course, in combat. And one thing that I find that is really cool is that most gangs actually have their own sort of combat music as well, right? Which sort of helps define the districts and the whole world again, right? And you'll be able to more easily understand who you're fighting, and it really allows the tone, of the combat to become really consistent and nice, yeah.
People don't realize how important those things are until you turn it off. Like, until you turn all the sound off, and then you're like, oh, there's so much atmosphere that goes into that stuff. It's awesome.
And one thing that's particularly magical to me, is, I remember very well the first moment I went into a club in Night City, right? Like, the moment of walking up to it, then hearing the music or the bass from inside, heavily muted. Then you go in through the first door, right? You're at the reception area. It's a bit louder. Things are like, you still have the muted bass, and then finally you enter the club room and, then are immersed in the club music. And it really helps having, actual music playing in that with the many collaborators that we have working on the project.
Yeah, I can't wait. The atmosphere from even the bits that I played were awesome, and I guess this, I think, was related to the question we were just asked, but I was able to change the radio in the car. So if that's the thing people care about, I was able to do that.
Wow, you're right. We actually showed that. I forgot that we did like a
It's
hands-on.
okay, I respect
all this
it.
mystery and
all this
secrecy
mystery,
for
yes.
nothing. Yeah, okay, there's a radio. You can change the channels. We have different musical channels, and you know it.
There you go. Breaking news. There was a question on screen that just disappeared from By Odin's Bionic Beard. I think I got that. Who asked if there are any
Bionic Beard.
Any,
I like that.
Puzzles or platforming in the game.
Yeah, certainly. There's some moments. We have double jump, right? And another one we call the charge jump, right? They're quite similar, but they work differently in the mechanics, right? And of course we try to sort of incorporate that. And as I said, we when we have platforming segments, it's mostly to sort of allow players to move places faster and get into positions that might be favorable to them, maybe a sniper position, right? But we always also need to consider that there is a variation of the game where a player might not have the double jump or anything, right? And we don't want them to just be able to to completely get stuck, right? So always need to consider, okay, if there's a player without double jump and he needs to get there because Jackie, the quest NPC, is waiting over there, we can't just block him, so we need to kind of find a way around. And this is where, again, the whole skill system with all the different tools comes into play, right? Because we then start considering, okay, so maybe this player can hack, so they can use a device on the level to kind of create a path, right? Or maybe this player can't hack, but they're a strong solo, so they can break open the door with sheer force and then progress up a staircase. And then, of course, what if a player has none of all of this? We also need to consider that. And then usually we try to opt to make that sort of the longer path, right? And so it's always possible, but it might be the more challenging or the more difficult approach. And using your skills, you might end up finding a more clever way of doing something.
That's what I love about this game.
I feel like the team here is a mess.
Different approaches that we're going to be able to take is going to be amazing. You want to punch down a door, you want to jump up on a ledge to get a better sniper position. I mean,
lesbian overlord, and I was like,
this is what's got me hyped. This is what all game developers need to do, is watch the level of detail what they do in these games instead of just selling us half-ass shit all the time.
Like a DeLorean or some collectibles.
Yes.
Oh.
Excellent.
There you go, Puffy.
I guess related, the question Lesbian Overlord asked was, where is the Cybertruck?
I want a DeLorean. I want
about anything?
a Back to the Future DeLorean Easter egg car in the game.
Don't think so. All right, this is another one from Sally Bo.
Imagine some crazy dude dressed as Doc Brown comes out and be like, "What are you doing?" Like a quest, you steal his car or something like that. Like that would be a badass
like
Easter egg.
Oh, this is something that really took us a long time to figure out and where we stand with it. Ultimately, we decided that you'll be able to loot cybernetics in some scenarios, right? They're like a special case scenarios. It's not like we always had this thought about, is it okay for us to allow V to be like the butcher of Night City and walk around and collect people's body parts, essentially? And yeah, but then you also have to kind of figure out, okay, but then how do you acquire cyber? Is it only through buying it, right? Or is there different ways? Can we make it cool when it comes to like open world exploration, right? Can we provide it as a reward somehow? And yeah, we had to sit down and come up with ways of doing that. So the short answer would be, yes, you'll be able to loot cyberware.
All right. That it's going to be expensive as hell. So if we can get it a different way as well, it's an RPG. Why can't I loot cyberware? Just like in The Witcher, I can loot certain weapons and armors and materials. Same
All
thing.
Right, well, we need to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us, Miles. Your enthusiasm is infectious. Cannot wait to see some of the stuff that you've designed. I guess, is there anything before you head off that you can
tell us
that we should look
we
out
want to know everything.
You know, if we want to see Miles' specific design in the game, anything you're particularly proud of?
Yes,
that you're allowed to
but
talk about.
I can't talk about it before the game has come out.
Excellent.
You know, we'll meet again and have a chat about it.
Alrighty, well, people can
quest
find you on
designs will be
Twitter,
very
I
sad.
believe. Yeah, well, hey, we've seen some of your work, I'm sure. It all looks amazing. I believe people can find you on Twitter at...
Is it just me, or is Alana's green screen clipping in the background bothering you? Like, I just keep seeing her chair because it's yellow. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like...
Cost spender, mate.
Keep looking at it.
Much nicer. But yeah, if anyone has any extra questions for Miles, look, I'm not going to go tell you to
guys,
harass him on Twitter, but...
Guys, see that
you could ask
samurai
him some
sign?
things,
That's a
maybe.
neon sign in the background.
Ask him
I
questions.
want that neon sign. I'll hang it up in the
Thank you so much.
background. You know what? If they sell that sign, I might do a giveaway for that samurai
Thank you for joining us,
sign.
Miles. We
You
will
know,
see you
to one of the subs, just like the giveaway I'm doing for Cyberpunk 2077. I'm doing a giveaway,
Every
so
time that
I will
we,
be
get
giving
to
the
talk
game
to
away
somebody from that team,
to a lucky sub.
I'm
Just
always
like if I could get
so
some other
amazed
collectibles
by
and
how
stuff like that,
candid
people
they
that
are.
support the
They're
channel,
always
I'm
just
gonna be
like,
doing a
it doesn't
giveaway
feel
for
like you're
that.
talking to a really rehearsed PR person. They're
And we're
always
going to be
very
streaming
candid and open
Twitch,
and honest, and also
YouTube,
just, like,
streaming Cyberpunk
everyone is always like,
2077
well, this is,
nonstop.
you know, a
So if
team
you guys
effort. I
like,
didn't do this whole thing, and it's just,
if you guys
I don't
support
know.
me, I'm going to support you guys back, and that's just
very
that's
nice
just what
to
it
hear
is,
the
you
love
know.
and support.
Collectibles,
It is
that neon
genuinely
sign.
Crazy to think that I've known.
I'd buy that.
Most
See, when you guys support me and I make
It's
as
wild.
much content as I
And they
can,
have
and
not changed. They're the
YouTube
same
benefits
people they were
me
back
by
then,
some
and they're
low
still
amount of
just
income
great,
I get from YouTube,
down-to-earth
I
guys, so I
will
love
put
them
that money back into
Uh,
the community and give it to
but
you guys between neon signs, the giveaway of
cool
Cyberpunk
is the last few
2077,
months,
and down the
Cyberpunk
road I'll
2077
probably maybe do another
around the
giveaway
world,
of the video
much
game.
like me,
So
have
as of
been
now,
submitting their best
I'm doing that giveaway for
cosplay
Cyberpunk
interpretations
2077.
of
I'm going to have more
characters
details
seen
on
in
my
Night
Twitter
City.
page.
Today,
So you guys, Hambone
we are
Gaming.
happy to announce the grand final winner. Let's take a look at her video submission right now.
All right.
I cosplay since 2015. For this competition, I cosplay Dum Dum, a character which allows me to transform completely into a badass gang member from the world.
Tell me
of
she's not
Cyberpunk
badass, right?
2077.
I'm telling you, I
Thanks
love
for
those
watching
eyes.
and
Just
goodbye.
like, look how her setup is. Like I said, you guys, though, I appreciate all of you being here and supporting this channel, and we will be doing giveaways throughout, even when the game drops, throughout that, Twitch streams, all that stuff. Not just giveaways, but anything, you know, like eventually down the road I might do different things between like t-shirts, hats, all kinds of different stuff like that if you guys are interested. Right now I haven't really started it that much because, like I said, I just started the channel about a year ago, and the channel's growing pretty quick for me, you know. So I appreciate all of you guys supporting. and I will support you guys back. I want to be that type of
cool.
content creator,
Hi,
you know?
Mia.
I want to help support you guys in that aspect.
Thank you for joining us. Your Dum Dum is absolutely insane. Jesse and I saw this earlier, and we're like, okay, first question, how did you get the lights in your face to work? How?
Oh, that was just one of.
Hey, no problem, man. I mean, honestly, you've been a really big supporter of this channel as well. So, like I said, everyone has a chance to win an edition of Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm just excited to be here where I'm at on the channel.
Metal parts, and then it's just glued onto my face with prosthetic glue, and that's all. So.
Not that simple. I couldn't do it.
Wiring to work so that the lights, you know, in the video they turn off. They are different colors at some point. Like, how did you make all that happen? Because I was looking at your head, trying to figure out where wires were.
The wiring just goes with the straps behind my head.
By the way, you guys, if there's anything else you guys want to see on the channel, like I say, I'll be uploading details on the giveaway to Twitter, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Also, I'll have more videos. I might do like Cyber Monday or Cyber Sunday. There we go, Cyberpunk Sunday. Yeah, and then I'll have more details on what to do and be part of when it comes to the giveaway. I might do something on my Twitter page. I'll do hashtag Hammy Nation. Hammy, you guys know, is my little logo. He's something I drew. He's our little mascot on the channel. So it's something I wanted to create a hashtag for, and I thought something that would symbolize that. So you guys go in there, might have, you know, post pictures of certain things, or just show your enthusiasm for Cyberpunk, and then we'll choose a winner, and then I'll have more things that I will keep bringing to the channel for giveaways for you guys. And we'll just see what the future holds, especially when the game drops. I will bring more for you guys to check out.
The whole competition took about a year, so it was a crazy journey, and I'm just happy that there is some kind of competition like that, and it was really fun to join.
Well, it definitely was worth it, because you won $15,000.
What? What? $15,000? I had no idea what I didn't even see what the reward was going to be. Cyber Sunday sounds cool, right? I think Cyber Sunday sounds cool. And each Sunday when we do Cyber Sunday, we can do like hashtags of everything that's happened the previous weekend. I kind of started something like that with Borderlands in the past, and it worked out really good. People liked a review of what happened that week, so we can do that as well for Cyberpunk and have more details on that giveaway in the future.
First time that I and my boyfriend did something like that. I first the design
Real person, not gameplay.
gameplay trailer you have seen, but after I qualified for the grand finale at Paris Games Week, we asked CDPR for more reference material, and when we get the photos, it was just like, oh my god, the whole body changed. So we were thinking
15K, right? $15,000.
get the look right. How can we?
Thanks, man. Yeah, everyone who wants to be part of that giveaway and anything else going on, you definitely want to turn on your notifications, because I'm going to be trying posting as much as possible within the next month's time, and then even after that, once the game drops, I'm going to be streaming, uploading game guide videos, everything. Like I said, working a full-time job, streaming, YouTube, all this stuff on top of, you know, everything else going on in my life with my family and that. It's a lot to go through. So I do this because I enjoy it. It's a hobby, and honestly, it's became more than that, because you guys, you know, being part of this channel has really made me want to push this channel even further, because I have a really good time. Just like even now, talking in chat, going onto my channel, seeing everyone in the comments helping each other out. It's definitely an escape from reality, and that's what I love about YouTube, what I love about just playing video games in general, and just something to step away from the hectic, crazy world, especially 2020. You know what I'm saying? 2020's been a hell of a year, and I really hope 2021 is a lot better. I know we all do, but If it's not, it's gonna be brutal. I'm sick of wearing masks everywhere.
Any money to get a new one done, so we were like shivering when we have to open the mold, like please, 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 it must be a success. And it was, and we were just happy crying. So oh my god, it worked really. We are so happy.
It is incredible. Sorry, Jesse, go ahead.
Oh, excuse. I'm just like really curious. You said it took a while. Like, what is the actual time this whole process took? Because I think a lot of people.
These cosplayers did an amazing job. They really did. I hope each one of these that made it to the finalists got something. I know she got the grand prize and there was 3 winners, but I hope they all got something because, like that one comment, this isn't cosplay. This is like special effects, pretty much. I mean, special detailing. Like you could be in movies and stuff with these type of cosplays.
Like 7-8 months because we had so many details. We have the weapons. Some of the weapons have sound effects, have light effects, have motors installed. Alone the silicone suit sculpting take me about 3 weeks, just the sculpting. Wow. So
3 weeks for the sculpting. Look at her setup she's got on. She's got a full-on fabrication studio back there where she can make this. Like,
never make that. Were there any techniques that you used for the first time in making Dum Dum, like things that you just had no idea how to do, that this was your first time ever attempting them, or did you generally understand how to do every piece of this when you headed into making this?
Oh yeah, social distancing lately, especially when I gotta go to work, we are all required to wear masks all the time, and I work in a factory, you know what I'm saying? So when you're in there and you're running around, moving around, it's just, it gets itchy after a while. Plus if you eat something, mints are life. Mint before you mask. Remember that motto to live by. You eat and then go right back to work and you don't have a mint. Yeah. You get punishment. What everyone else smells, be like, man, I wish this guy would take a hint. Now everyone's got a mask and be like, damn, my shit's been fucked up for a long time.
And I ended up with sewing like a foil you used for garden ponds. We have in the garage, and I was like, this is the perfect material, can I have it? And Luke's dad was like, okay, if you want it, go for it. It's perfect for the jacket. For the jacket, okay. And also, we did a lot of casting with resin before, but no casting with silicone. And also,
by the way, you guys, I appreciate you being here in chat. We get a lot of people jumping in and out. We get more viewers, get all the way up to like 9-10 viewers and dropping down and stuff. And a lot of people already message me. They got to be at work. They can't watch it. They'll watch it later. So I appreciate you guys being here during the live stream. Like I said, this is the first time live streaming, so not a lot of people are used to me doing this. They're just used to me uploading videos.
More skin tone and more blue and more red, and still wasn't satisfied. And yeah, so. Yes.
You're amazing. I'm just so amazed. I'm like, you're incredible. My gosh. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm sure that 15,000 will go to making all sorts of awesome cosplay.
Yes.
To everyone else who entered, your cosplay was amazing too. Thank you so much. It's stunning. All of it stunning. But that is it for us today. We're going to wrap this bad boy up. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to Alana for leading the charge here today. Besides finding us in the world of Night City, which you can, Alana, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm at Charlanazad on everything, which you're not going to be able to spell. It is on screen right now, but it's fine. But yeah, I work at Rooster Teeth, so I work at a comedy gaming channel called Funhouse, and also Inside Gaming, and also, you know, make content in my own time. So you can find me pretty much everywhere. How about you?
Well, you guys, it's been real in this stream. I'm happy you guys tuned in. That is it. That's what I have for you guys. Because that's it. That's all they got. That's the post show right there. But like I said, I'm excited we have some new updated info on sounds, cars, different things. I will break down some of these trailers. I will be uploading more of these videos within the next few days or so. I'm going to go through each detail and see, because they always like to add little things in there, right? So I hope you guys did enjoy this stream. If you did, thumbs up is always appreciated, you guys on the stream. Also, subscribe to the channel. Hey, check me out on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. That way, we got that giveaway coming up. I really appreciate everyone being part of this community. And I'm really excited for Cyberpunk dropping. I hope you guys are too. We're going to have a lot more details coming within the next month. They say they're going to be dropping so much more details, explaining more about the world and its size, everything else. I hope we get a peek at the map before the game drops. I know there was the leak of the map, but take that with a grain of salt. So I will catch you guys all on the next one. So be sure to subscribe and like. I'll see you later.